Hi, I'm John Newton, aka Snap-on John 100, and you are watching Wilderness Self-Reliance. Today, I'm going to be doing a quick video for Knife Maker Monday. It was late because of some family issues I had and sick animals, and so I wanted to make sure I got this taken and edited, because Friday I'm going to be having my other ankle operated on. So I also am requesting prayers for speedy and complete recovery. And so today you're going to be looking at one of my most lovely knives, and it is a Bark River knife. It's the Bark River Gunny in Elmax, which is the only one I have in Elmax. It's a beauty. This is a gunny. It's I mentioned before, it's Elmax steel, which is a stainless super steel. It has a convexed, it looks like basically a convex saber grind, and white Curonite scales, which I think are absolutely beautiful. Looks almost like pearl. And I hope this shows up well. I'll try to do a close-up if I... It's very comfortable, ergonomic scales. And this knife is a small knife. It's a perfect size for small chores, and the handle scales are the handles are 4.5 inches long, and the blade is 3 3/4 inches long, and the thickness of the steel is 5/32. So let me get this camera set up, and we'll work with it a little bit. With this knife, I would do extremely light batoning, nothing heavy duty at all. Let's see if you can... That's doing such a great job. I want to try to see if I can zoom you in right on it. Really fine curls. It's effortless, and the handle scales fit in your hand so well that it's just a joy to use. So it's like a thing of beauty that's very functional. Put a nice point for a stake on that. I normally just tap on it a little bit when I'm making a notch. It's a lot easier. There's a nice 7-notch. And I'll fashion the end to make it so you can pound on it. So right now it's sharpened. This just really cuts like there's no tomorrow. I don't have a huge amount of experience with Elmax. It's one of the super steels. There, you can pound on that. I tapered this side off, because that's where the notch is. I don't want it hitting on this side because it might shear this off. So when you hit, you're going to be hitting on the back here. Here's a piece of eastern red cedar. And this might be a deal breaker for some of you out there. This doesn't have a sharpened spine. I'm one of the oddballs that I don't really like a sharpened spine because I do push cuts and things, and I don't like having that sharp edge on my thumb, and I carry 4 or 5 things with me at all times that could strike a ferro rod if I needed to, or even get a spark off of a piece of flint. And plus I could pick up a piece of chert. It's everywhere here. In 2 minutes I could probably find a piece of chert and use that to scrape this ferro rod. So I don't do that with my knives very often. This is one of my things I got in my store. That's why I think fat wood is so important, that I always carry it with me. But I'm not going to be using my piece of fat wood. I'm just going to strike this down here. Guess I'm going to need this. So I think I might make a little fire and do a little cooking. The sun is getting ready to set, and so I'm going to move the camera around, and I'm going to do a lot of the preparation off camera because of time constraints. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. And you got a couple of, there's some pieces of marginal fat wood there. and you got some fat wood to throw in there, the small stuff isn't as critical. That's why I like it. You don't have to have so many. They don't have to be as fine. This calls for a half a cup of water. So I'm going to be using the measuring cup I made out of a plastic water bottle. No, this takes 1 cup of water. So there we go, 1 cup. Cup. There we go. Let that boil. And then I stir in the potato mix. There we go. Alright, so I got the little brats on the grill and the water is waiting to boil. And I just stir this in, drag it, whatever that thing is, out. Alright, so I stir this up. And look at that, it looks delish. Now I got to deal with my brats. it'll take a little while longer. You have it. Bark River's Gunny in Elmax Super Steel. It's got white Curinite scales. It's a work of art. Extremely comfortable and great size for small stuff. Well, I hope you liked this episode of Knife Maker Monday. Bark River Knives Gunny in Elmax with Curinite, white pearl Curinite scales. Oh wow. This is living. And here, heads up, I am going to have surgery Friday, 1 o'clock, Friday afternoon. If anybody would think of it, I'd like you to be praying for me. And until we meet again, God bless. If you like this series, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And also, I'd like you to visit my online store. It's small, but it's all things fire pretty much. I'll put a link to it at the bottom of in the description box. I'll also put the specs for the knife, and I will put a link where you can purchase Bark River knives. This is the place that I like to get mine. The Fire Baton that I used in the video to start the fire is one of the products that I have in my store. So if you would just take a look at it, and I really appreciate it. It helps me fund some of the things that I do for this videos. Thanks once again. God bless.